Next on the news, a museum celebrating Italian Americans highlights a piece of living history ahead of Columbus Day.
A treasure once lost can now be found at the new Italian American Museum. I'm Katie Vasquez, and I'll share the inspiration behind this statue coming up.
Pope Francis and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky meet for peace talks on Friday. It's the third time the two leaders have connected at the Vatican. Plus, a dream team out in Greenpoint as St. Stanislaus Kostka's new principal joins forces with the school's president. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. She's a perfect example of the American dream. A statue of a Catholic woman is now the model for it in a new museum in Little Italy. Currents News' Katie Vasquez has her story from her home in Flushing, Queens.
A
row of family photos is proudly displayed at Maria Pulsone's Queens home.
I'm very happy for my family. We all here. We make a better life.
A life the Catholic was able to build with her husband and son. When they came to America from the Molise region of Italy in 1955.
All working people, we come here for a piece of bread. You gotta make it even and nice.
In her new life in Flushing, she worked in the garment industry, sewing tuxedos to make ends meet.
You gotta put a seam to seam, and then you gotta work here. So that's the job.
About 45 years ago, her boss at St. Laurie honored her years of hard work by asking her to sit for a statue that they would display in the showroom of their Broadway building.
They make a plaster on my, just a little bit. They cover them up with the eyes.
The image of the model employee becoming just as much of a staple for the showroom as she was.
I say, good morning, Maria. Good night, Maria.
We went on vacation, Mom and I.
The company eventually closed its doors, but last year her family, including her son Nuncio, started thinking about where it ended up.
Looked it up on Google and poof, their statue of sewing woman, and it came up, and they found that it was in Pennsylvania, I believe, and we purchased it.
They then donated the statue to the new Italian American Museum on Mulberry Street in Little Italy, where visitors can say hi to Maria's statue, located right by the door of the museum, just like her co-workers did years ago.
She's representing the hardworking people that came from Italy in the garment district, so that's it's an honor to have that.
And while Maria is humbled by the gesture, she's happy that her legacy will live on for years to come.
Now, my family, sometimes they go in a museum, they say, that's my grandma. That's my great-grandma.
A testament to the American dream. In Flushing, Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
As Katie mentioned, you can see Maria's statue at the Italian American Museum in Little Italy. That's on 151 Mulberry Street. It'll be open to the public this Columbus Day from 12 to 5. Gotta go see it. Catholics can celebrate Columbus Day at Mass. There will be a liturgy at St. Patrick's Cathedral this Monday, October 14th at 9:30 a.m. The Mass is ticketed, but you can watch it live on their website, stpatrickscathedral.org. And Katie Vasquez will have full coverage of that Mass on Tuesday, along with the parade down Fifth Avenue. So tune in this Tuesday, October 15th at our normal time, 7 p.m., right here on Net TV. On October 20th, the church celebrates World Mission Sunday, when Catholics show solidarity with those who are spreading the faith all around the globe. Joining them ahead of the day is Brooklyn Bishop Robert Brennan, who talked about the great work of the church's missionaries on his podcast, Big City Catholics.
It is such an eye-opening experience to see how the church is so very alive in different parts of the world, and yet even amid maybe because of great need. And then to see, again, that turnaround. You mentioned some of the countries in Africa, like Nigeria. Well, now Nigeria and Ghana, they're sending priests to help us. Now we need missionaries.
There are more than 72,000 missionaries serving in over 150 countries. You can listen to the full conversation on Bishop Brennan's podcast, Big City Catholics, at podcast.dioceseofbrooklyn.org or search for Big City Catholics on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Catholics in Florida are banding together in the wake of Milton's devastation. The once-in-a-thousand-year rain event killed at least 16 people and left more than 2 million customers without power, as Floridians now look to pick up the pieces from the storm. In the Diocese of St. Petersburg, 2 more churches and 2 more schools have reported damage on top of the initial 5 reported. This damage includes flooding, shattered windows, and even a roof that was blown off. But Catholics are still coming together to help with cleanup and to pray. Masses will resume in some parishes this weekend. And supporting them in their efforts is their Bishop, Gregory Parks.
At this point, we need to pray for each other, support one another, and we'll get back on our feet. So, as your bishop, be assured of my prayers and my support. I ask that God may grant you strength and patience during these coming days of recovery.
To help the people of St. Petersburg move forward from this hurricane, just go to DOSP.org. There you'll find storm updates and a link to their disaster relief fund. As the war in Ukraine rages on, President Volodymyr Zelensky held a peace meeting with the Pope, the leader talking privately with the Holy Father on Friday. It's the 3rd time Zelensky has met with the pontiff at the Vatican. During this meeting, the 2 leaders discussed issues concerning religious life in the country. Pope Francis also brought up the suffering of Ukrainian children, saying many of them have lost the ability to smile. The Synod has reached day 9 in Rome, and participants and pilgrims visiting the Eternal City can now see a piece of papal history. Due to the current restoration efforts, this monument by Bernini has been brought out to the open, and inside it is St. Peter's chair. Pope Francis recently went to St. Peter's Basilica to see the relic of the first pope, and he's encouraging everyone to take a look. You'll have until the final Mass of the Synod on October 27th to do so. Finally tonight, our Jessica Easthope has been introducing you to the new principals of Diocese of Brooklyn schools. But tonight, she's introducing you to a dream team. St. Stanislaus Kostka Catholic Academy in Greenpoint was the first school in the Diocese of Brooklyn to adopt a principal-president model. This year, the school has a new principal, and Danielle Madden-Buck says the school's president is the best teammate. Current News' Jessica Easthope has the story.
I'm not a good jumper. I'm terrible. During recess at St. Stanislaus Kostka Catholic Academy in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, the 2 biggest kids are having the most fun. That's President Frank Carbone and new principal Danielle Madden-Buck. The school was the first in the Diocese of Brooklyn to have a president and principal who share the responsibility of running the school. These 2 have only worked together for a short time, but they actually go way back. Frank coached women's basketball at St. Joseph's College at the same time that Danielle was playing for Brooklyn College. The 2 rivals came face to face again at Danielle's interview for the job.
Danielle popped up on that screen. I knew who my number 1 choice was going to be. I felt like I was the general manager trying to select the first draft pick.
Now Danielle is bringing the same passion she had on the court to her role as principal, hoping to score some major points with faculty and students.
I really wanted to focus on STEM. One of my major focuses also is differentiated learning and really making sure that we touch all learners.
They used to play each other. Now they call themselves the Dream Team and are already working to keep what's important at the center of the Catholic education St. Stan's provides.
The children are reminded every day of how we should live our lives and just, being able to focus on our faith and really lean on our faith.
You're combining passion, intelligence, and the spiritual. When you put all that together, you add that up, it's an unbeatable combination.
From game scores to test scores, Frank and Danielle say at St. Stan's, everybody wins. In Greenpoint, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
What a fun principal and school president. That is this Currents News update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.